Hi everybody, Michelle Grunberg here, and today is day 9 of True Wealth Formula, and yesterday we tackled debt and really feel great about my formulas and how this is all going to work out. And today I went into the compound skill development worksheet, and as a business owner for the last 10 years in the field of customer experience, I can tell you that this was just fantastic for me. I absolutely agree that knowledge, skill, being a massive connector, and action, increasing those 4 areas will increase my income because I've seen it happen over these last 10 years. I've invested a lot of time and energy in all 4 of these things, including learning a lot from DannyJohnson.com. So I was thinking to myself where my strongest skills are, and I am a master connector. The name of my company is I Connect You. I started off exactly doing that. I was, what are you good at? Okay, well, I'm a good connector. So I would sit down with any CEO and I would ask them a series of questions that would reveal a need, and then I would go out and I would find not one but maybe 2 or 3 solutions that I recommended, people that I had vetted, people that I had placed very high expectations on, and I stayed throughout that process. I didn't just connect them and walk away. I stayed and made sure it was a good connector. I asked a lot of questions along the way. I took care of the support people. The CEOs typically would make the decision, and then it would get handed over to the operations people to see it be implemented, and that usually is where everything would break down. The salesperson on the other side had done a really good job of teeing up the all the promises, but then when it came to deliver, their own team didn't do a very good job. So I got really good for the first 10 years of our business. We do that. We still do that. I definitely can increase this though, because I've put it on the back burner, and so in this next decade, I'm going to do better at it. I'm going to start collecting better resources on a national and global scale through Danny Johnson's community, and I'm gonna help connect a lot of people to business. And I'm proud to say that Natalie, our 20-year-old daughter, just went to her first corporate Christmas party yesterday. She's telling me the story, and she said, "Mom, I got my I Connect You on." All of a sudden, people were coming up and saying, "Do you know somebody that does blah blah blah?" And I would hand walk them over and do an introduction, and then somebody else would say, "Well, do you know anybody that does la la la?" And then she said, "Yeah, sure." And then she would walk over and introduce them. Of course, I said, if you want to be a master at it, then you'd follow up with them and find out how that connection went and kind of keep the momentum going. That's where I Connect You was able to build value by following up and asking the questions, because not every connection's good and not every person follows up. And you may have made a connection to somebody and then they don't do the proposal. They don't give them the numbers. There's a problem with the email. Oh my gosh. Millions and billions of dollars in the United States are lost by this. And that's what we started off doing. So the connector thing I'm going to increase. We are customer experience experts. We do customer experience follow-up phone calls, post-service for home services, hotels, nonprofits, churches, anyone that needs a phone call made to a client or customer to ask them a key question, to thank them for their work, and to ask them key questions. That's what our company does. We have people working all over the United States doing that business. We are edifiers, we are problem solvers, we are gratitude experts, and in the midst of it all, we're discovering the truth as the client sees the company, giving the company clear vision to make quick and very decisive improvements. And so I am going to join a customer experience association. I think there might be 1 or 2. Anyway, I'm going to become even better at this because no one's doing, as far as I can tell, no one's doing what I'm doing. And I'm also going to join an association in the home services division. I've seen some of their stuff, and I need to join their group and become an expert for them. So that's my second takeaway. And then the third takeaway is that I need to do a better job of lead generation, really just asking our happy people who else they know that could use us. That's what I'm going to concentrate on in 2020. Who else do you know that we can help? My husband is an engineer. He's a project manager for commercial construction. And I figured out that he's making about $136 an hour at his business, and he can increase that. And I know that on his to-do list is to increase his leadership skills. And he was asking me what he should do. And of course, I said GEMS is the best leadership skill development tool out there. And he said, well, I kind of already know that because I've been to Dynasty. And I said, no, you don't, because you haven't been through GEMS Mastery. So I connected him to all the resources for Gem Mastery. I also connected him to the link so that his company can buy their own, because I don't want anyone else using it than Mark. That's a no-no. So anyway, I'm really excited to see whether or not he does it. I mean, who knows if he'll listen to what I'm saying, but that could increase his skill set tremendously because he's an excellent emerald. But he does work with a lot of sapphires and pearls and rubies, and his boss is a ruby. So he was saying his boss needs it, you know, and so he's got the link. He can buy his own. So that's exciting. I figured out in the paycheck I give me pays about $30 an hour. I'm making phone calls myself to help pay off this debt. But my business is paying me about $200 an hour. So if I can increase our business, it's the passive, it's definitely geometric. We can work from anywhere, and it's paying $200 an hour right now. So that showed me stay where I'm at with my calls, because I can't really do more than I'm doing there. But I work about 5 hours a week to equal that $200 an hour. So that's pretty good. You know, maybe 10, but we definitely can increase that. And the lead generation will help that. So I'm leaving a long video today just so that I can keep track of what I'm doing. This is for me more so than anyone else, but I do hope it inspires others. Have a wonderful weekend. Lots of homework to do. I feel really good about taking care of my bank accounts and setting up my 10, 10, 10, 70 this week. I feel really good about figuring out where my debt needs to be paid off and how to do it. I have faith it's going to work. I feel really good about my skill development worksheet, and I'm going to get those 3 things taken care of by the Monday. I'm going to have been enrolled in these associations. I hope it doesn't cost a lot of money, but God's in charge. One of the questions I have, and maybe anyone watching this can help me, is Mark's not really ready to do the tithe. He's given me permission to put the tithe money aside. And not only are we members of a church, but he doesn't go to church, but I do. And we also take care of children out of extreme poverty alongside World Vision. And we have a trust account with National Christian Foundation that we could take the tithe money and put it there. But once it's there, I can't get it back out. So he's not positive this 10% going to the tithe is what he wants to do. So I just told him we would have it sit in the account as it grows, but I don't think that's being biblically, I think we need to say, yes, this is God's money and we need to give it to God. And I really want you guys to help me pray for him that it'll be revealed to Mark where that money needs to go, and then he'll have the joy of giving it where it needs to go. I've been tithing up for I Connect You ever since we started 10 years ago. We've given, probably $100,000 in the 10 years. Maybe a little bit less, maybe around 80,000. And that feels good. That feels really good. Right there on our office wall is all the kids that we take care of, which is awesome. But that said, there's my trees in Israel that we've planted. There's all the prayers that I do every day. The blue is what I love about those people, and the red is what I pray for. And it's in order of God and Mark, and then Natalie, and then I Connect You and my community. That's pretty awesome. This is our beautiful office. And then that is my wall of inspiration. And then this is a letter that God wrote me during the edification exercise at Dynasty. He wrote me a letter. It says, "You are kind, bold, and passionate about me." He's talking to me. "You are trustworthy, loyal, and your yes is yes and your no is no. You make me so proud to be your Abba. I have many adventures in store for you. Please trust me, stay close in my word, and know I'll always lead you on the path of righteousness. I've got this, God said to me. He said, we're going to change the world much more than you realize. Keep honoring me with your presence, your willing spirit, and your edifying words to both my sheep and my son's sacrifice. The Holy Spirit, my spirit, loves to be next to you, alongside you, in bed, lying down with you, and in your face as you wake up. I'm going to do so much more than you can ever dream of. I love you, Abba, Yahweh, Elohim, Seboeth. Wow, that's what he wrote to me. And then I typed it up and I put it on my wall. And yesterday I needed a word of encouragement. And when I asked Mark for it, he wrote back, word of encouragement. And he used to say I didn't take his phone call when he called. Just let him stew on that for a little while because I was not happy. It hurt. But then I came home and I lit a fire in the fireplace and I made some banana pudding for some things I have to go to next. Wrapped some presents that I need to give and sat and read this letter. And my Bible, I'm in the Minor Prophets right now, and you could bang one of those out in an hour and you could really get into God's cry for our presence. He loves us. He loves me. He loves you. Last night I spent some time learning how to be a volunteer at a revival. Franklin Graham's coming not just to Florida, but right here to my little town of Plant City, Florida. And he's going to do a revival on January 12th. And we're positioning it as a rock concert that all the kids will come to, but I am believing that there will be so many people there that it will supersede not just the strawberries that we're growing here in Plant City. We're the strawberry capital of the world, but for every seed that's in the strawberries. That's what I'm believing is going to happen at this revival. It's going to catch fire, and my community, my beautiful community of Tampa Bay and Orlando and the I-4 corridor is going to hit a revival. And I just wanted to be a small part of it, so I had to go get certified to be able to share the gospel properly in the Franklin Graham evangelism way. Anyway, I'm leaving a long message. I hope that you guys are inspired, and I hope everyone has a blessed weekend and stays warm.